Good morning, my name is Heather and I am the creator behind this account on YouTube called The Finch's Nest. And generally when I put up videos, I am doing sort of a podcast of the things that I have been making with my knitting and my sewing. And today's is a little bit different. I'm just going to show you one project that I have made, but it's kind of a unique and different project, and I thought maybe it might be helpful to someone else. For those of you who don't know, my father has dementia, and on Easter weekend he fell and broke his hip. So he's in the hospital right now, and he was able to have the surgery to fix his hip. The problem is when a dementia patient has anesthetic, often it makes them much more confused afterwards than they were prior to the surgery. So we've been told that sometimes they regain sort of their baseline and sometimes they do not. So he's definitely making steps in the right direction, but he's not ready to come home, that's for sure. So the poor guy is stuck in the hospital, and he's either stuck in his bed or stuck in it's kind of like a big wheelchair with a tray on the front. And my dad is the type of person who never sits down and never stops doing things. So the poor guy is bored out of his mind. But also because of his dementia, he doesn't read anymore. He can't do crosswords anymore. So I was trying to think of things that could entertain him, that, you know, would just keep his hands busy, because it seems like when he gets agitated, especially when we're not there with him, there's just nothing for him to do, and his hands in particular get very agitated and fiddly. So I was looking online for just some suggestions of things, and I saw these like fidget muffs or fidget blankets, that kind of thing. So I thought I would create one for him. Just something to keep his hands busy, just something to make him know that, you know, we're always thinking about him, even if we're not there, that kind of thing. So I completed this last night, and I want to take it to the hospital this afternoon, and I have about an hour before I have to be there. So we're going to quickly just go through this, but I just thought if you have a loved one who needs one of these, maybe it will inspire you to make one. It's a very simple project. You can just use whatever you can find at home in your sewing stash, and I'm hoping this is really going to help keep his hands busy and keep him feeling a little more settled. So I am going to show you what I've created. Okay, so this is the fiddle. I wouldn't say it's a blanket, it's more like a mat. And I figured it could sit on the tray when he's in his chair, and when he's in bed he could just put it on his lap. But it's 6 squares by 3 squares, and I cut the squares 5.5 inches. And then I just embellished them with different things to like make him think of us, or to fidget with. So I'll just go through block by block and show you what I did. So this first block, I just put a piece of cord that I had laying around on here. I sewed it at the top and bottom, and I had put these little wooden spools on. So it's just, you know, something to fiddle with, which is what he really needs right now. And I think it's good just to like keep his mind occupied a little bit too, because, you know, it's a long day for him there, and my mom visits him every day, but she can only stay for so long because my parents are 85, so he has a long day to fill. So, and then I had my granddaughters color some pictures for him on fabric. So I don't know if you know this or not, but if you heat set crayon, it will stay. So I've done that, so hopefully these will stay for the long haul. And then I just wrote that Annie had colored it for him, so she made him an apple tree. And then this block here, I had this trim. It's kind of got like little pom-poms on it, but it has a nice feel to it, and it's like bumpy and, you know, textured for a fiddle mat. So yeah, I just sewed rows of these on. Super simple. And for this project, like, I really didn't plan ahead too much. I kind of just went through my stash of stuff and figured out what I could put on here. So this one, I was originally going to put like a clear vinyl with these poly pellets inside. And then I was going to hide like little buttons in there so he could find all the different things. But I didn't have like a plain piece of vinyl. I only had this one with the hearts on. So then I thought if I put the buttons in with this, maybe it might be like overstimulating because a lot of color and stuff going on. So I decided to just put the poly pellets in. So this is kind of fun because you can, you know, he can shake it or, whoops, sorry. He can shake it or move it around however he wants. And then my granddaughter Chloe colored him a picture. So she's only 2 years old and look at how well she's doing with her coloring. And then this one I had this piece of, it's like a grosgrain ribbon, and it came on a blanket or something that we had purchased a while ago, and I just kept it because I knew I could use it for something. And so I just sewed a bit and then gathered up a piece and sewed another line and gathered it. Just so, you know, again, it's creating some texture. He can put his fingers in here. He can just fiddle with it. So again, super simple, and I already had it. This block is blank right now, but what I'm going to do on here is write on it. So I'm going to write, so my dad's name's Keith. I'm going to write, my name is Keith, and my wife's name is, and I was a firefighter, and I have 4 children, and stuff like that, so that when his PSWs or nurses are sitting with him, they can maybe cue some of this stuff for him. So that's just going to be information on my dad. On this one here, I did, at Christmas time I had ordered some safety eyes for something I was making for my granddaughter, and I ordered it on Amazon and I got a whole bunch of them. So I put them on, just 2 different sizes, and it just gives a nice texture, and they're safe because they're safety eyes. So yeah, I just drew the line with a permanent marker and put the safety eyes on. This one here in the middle, I put a piece of Velcro on here. So let me use my other hand. So yeah, he can just open and close. So again, just something to keep him busy. And then this little star patch I had in my sewing arsenal. And so I just put it on and put his name on it so that if it gets lost, the nurses know who it belongs to. And then on this one, I put a zipper, and it works just fine. So he can zip and unzip all he likes. This block, I just had little bits of cord left, so I tied them on. He could tie them, he can just play with them, whatever makes him feel happy. And then on the bottom row, I had this bit of sparkly, it's kind of like elasticated, that I'd used on my granddaughter's Elsa, was it Elsa or Anna? Anna costume. There's this little piece left, so I put this on, and it's like super stretchy and sparkly, so maybe that will be interesting. And there's another picture by Chloe. And then this block, I just put a piece of like fun fur on it, so it's super soft. Feels really nice. And then I put some more of those beads on. This time I just, oh sorry, this is really hard to do. This time I just put them on an angle instead of up and down like I had done earlier. And then Annie drew another picture, and she was writing her sister's name. And then the final one, I just made this little thing that has a magnetic snap, so he can open and shut it. And then that's it. And on the back, I just put some more of this striped fabric that I had, and I've had that striped fabric forever, so it was nice to have sort of something to use it for. But here it is. It's kind of a mishmash of stuff, but I'm hoping it will bring some comfort when we're not there and keep his fiddly hands doing something, because otherwise he kind of picks at his hands, which we don't want him doing. So yeah, it's just a simple project, but hopefully one that will help. I'm willing to try just about anything right now to help him when we're not there, because I know when we're not there he gets agitated, and he yesterday when my mom showed up he started crying, so he's really lonely, and I don't think he really understands what's happening and why he's there, so that's hard too. So we do tell him every day what's going on, but it's a tough disease. So anyways, if you're the praying kind, we would appreciate your prayers for him, that he can make enough progress that he can come home soon. His hip is doing well, and they have him up walking with a walker, but his mind is not so good since the surgery, so we're just hoping to get him back to where he was at before, but we have a ways to go before that's going to be the case. Anyways, if you have a loved one who needs a fidget blanket, I hope I inspired you to make one, and if you have any questions for me, you can message me on Instagram, and I would be happy to answer any questions. Oh, I guess one thing I should say is, I don't know if I said this already, but I cut each block was 5.5 inches square, and I did put a layer of batting in between, and yeah, I just stitched everything on the machine so it's nice and secure and solid for him, and I'm going to take it to him this afternoon. So it's interesting because part of my job at work, my real job, I was just filling in for a contract, and I was purchasing supplies for people with special needs. So it was kind of interesting timing, because I know that these fidget toys and fidget items are very helpful for people who have some sort of special needs. So we also went out today and purchased like a pad of paper and some markers, and I'm hoping maybe he can just doodle or something. We're trying anything. So if you also have any ideas of what a dementia patient can use to keep busy, I would love to hear from you. So I'm sorry about the camera wobbling. I'm leaning on my cutting table, which is on wheels, which I thought was a good idea, but apparently it's not because it keeps shaking. But anyways, I don't have time to redo this. So anyways, thanks for watching this. I hope it inspired you. And these textured fidget blankets are perfect for children with autism or any sort of sensory needs as well. So yeah, use your imagination and go through your stash of goodies and see what you can come up with. And if you make one, send me a picture. I'd love to see it. Talk to you later. Bye.